but on Twitter at least, you kind of consider like a sort of a fashion icon.
I'm glad that people kind of take notice to it. So yeah, I guess I'm on tennis fashion Twitter. I don't know.
Coco Gauff just unveiled a look that caught the tennis world completely off guard, leaving fans and analysts doing double takes. The defending champion showcased a bold transformation, far from the usual pre-tournament updates, highlighting that this change was about more than just appearance. Last year's Australian Open winner and America's tennis sweetheart shared her new blonde highlights on Instagram, captioning it, "First time trying this color, I'm obsessed." With the 2026 Australian Open approaching, Gauff's timing couldn't be more surprising as she embraces her title defense with confidence rather than hiding under pressure. Social media erupted, with tennis Twitter praising her look and speculating whether this marks the beginning of a new Coco era. Her bold move underscores how, in modern sports culture, even a hair color change can spark conversation, inspire fans, and become part of an athlete's strategic image. But here's where it gets really interesting. Coco Gauff has always done things her own way, pushing boundaries and putting her personal style front and center. Remember last year when she designed her Australian Open outfit? She drew inspiration from Marvel superheroes, explaining that female characters have cool cutouts on their costumes. She turned a tennis outfit into a bodysuit so intricate that she joked about needing bladder control just to wear it, saying you have to sacrifice for fashion. And then there was the cargo skirt situation. Gauff wanted to wear cargo pants on court, but professional tennis rules wouldn't allow it, so she got creative and made a cargo skirt instead. That's been her approach throughout her career. Take what you're given and make it work, even if it means wrestling into a bodysuit before every match. Now, with her new blonde highlights, fans are treating this as a revolutionary statement, and in many ways it is. Tennis has long been a sport with strict expectations for appearance and conduct, especially when defending a Grand Slam title. But Gauff's generation isn't bound by those unwritten rules. The timing makes it even more fascinating. Most athletes in her position would be in full monk mode, early nights, strict routines, and zero distractions. But Coco is boldly rewriting the playbook. But here's the thing. Gauff is posting about her new hair color like she's just another 20-year-old getting ready for a fun trip, rather than the defending champion of one of tennis's biggest tournaments. Either she's supremely confident, or she's figured out something the rest of us haven't. Maybe the pressure feels less suffocating when you're actually having fun with it. Defending a Grand Slam title isn't just about playing good tennis, it's about handling the expectations of everyone who suddenly thinks they know exactly how your career should go, facing every opponent who wants to be the one to take down the champion, and navigating press conferences designed to expose any hint of stress. And somehow, Gauff is managing all of that while experimenting with her appearance. Fan reactions have been telling. Some fully support her, praising her confidence and style, while others act as if changing your hair color could somehow sabotage your backhand. There's always that crowd insisting athletes should only focus on their sport, ignoring the fact that personal expression doesn't undermine dedication or skill. But that's never been the case with Coco Gauff. She's been defying expectations since her teenage years, including taking down Venus Williams at Wimbledon when she was just 15. Most kids that age are worrying about passing their driving test, and she was already defeating one of the greatest players of all time on center court. Then she went on to win the US Open at just 19, becoming the youngest American to claim that title since Serena Williams. Now, with an Australian Open title under her belt, won in that Marvel-inspired bodysuit that required careful planning for bathroom breaks, Gauff might actually know what she's doing when it comes to handling pressure and performing when it counts. Maybe those blonde highlights aren't a distraction at all. Maybe they're part of how she stays relaxed and keeps the experience fun in a sport that can get far too serious far too fast. Tennis players spend countless hours in their own heads, analyzing every stroke, stressing about rankings and points. Sometimes doing something completely unrelated to tennis is exactly what's needed to remind yourself that you're a human being, not a tennis robot. The contrast between Gauff's approach and what we typically see from defending champions is striking. Most players return to defend a title with rehearsed lines about focus, taking it one match at a time, and not thinking about pressure. Gauff shows up with new hair and proudly posts about being obsessed with it. That's either incredibly bold, incredibly smart, or, knowing her track record, probably both. This also ties into the larger conversation about athletes and self-expression. We've seen NBA players become fashion icons, soccer players launch clothing lines, and Formula One drivers collaborate with luxury brands. Yet tennis has been slower to embrace this side of athlete culture, likely due to its conservative traditions. Players like Gauff are changing that narrative, proving that you can care about your appearance and still be a fierce competitor on court. Her outfit choices have always reflected her identity. That cargo skirt wasn't just a fashion statement, it was a declaration of individuality in a sport that rarely makes room for it. The Marvel-inspired bodysuit wasn't just about looking stylish. It was a way for Gauff to express her personality and interests through her on-court attire. Now, with her blonde highlights, it's not merely an experiment with a new look. It's a statement about showing up to defend her title as her most authentic self, even if that version defies expectations. The bigger question on everyone's mind is whether this change in appearance reflects her mindset heading into the tournament. Sports psychologists often argue that a physical change can signal a fresh start or a shift in mentality, so perhaps these highlights represent a new chapter, separating this year's Australian Open from last year's victory. Or maybe Gauff just wanted to try something new and people are reading too much into it. This also raises a larger issue about how women's tennis players are evaluated. Despite winning 2 Grand Slams and consistently reaching finals, Gauff is still met with hesitation as a leading figure in the sport, while players with similar or lesser achievements often receive more recognition. Critics like Mashie seem baffling in this context because Gauff has proven her ability to win on multiple surfaces, the US Open and the Australian Open, demonstrating versatility that some rivals, like Swiatek, are still working to match outside clay. Predictions that Iga Swiatek will be world #1 before May add pressure on Gauff's competition to perform immediately, while the Australian Open, Middle East tournaments, and spring clay season all present opportunities for her to consolidate her position. Players like Aryna Sabalenka also pose a threat, but Gauff's ability to stay confident, experimental, and focused gives her a clear edge heading into 2026. Rick Mashie's prediction about the 2026 women's tennis season has stirred up more drama than he likely anticipated. By leaving out players like Sabalenka and seemingly undervaluing Gauff, despite her multiple Grand Slam wins and consistent dominance, Mashie has created a storyline that fans can't stop talking about. Predicting the top player in a sport as competitive as women's tennis is tricky, with multiple athletes capable of winning any tournament. Gauff, Swiatek, Sabalenka, and emerging talents like Andrea all have legitimate claims to dominance. Mashie's timeline assumes Gauff will underperform or Swiatek will rise immediately, but tennis is unpredictable. Injuries, form fluctuations, and confidence swings can derail even the most prepared player. For Gauff, this public doubt could serve as motivation. Athletes often thrive when proving naysayers wrong. Most likely, 2026 will see multiple players sharing moments of triumph, with tournaments won by Gauff, Swiatek, and Sabalenka at different points. Looking back, Mashie's prediction might be praised for foresight or ridiculed for underestimating the defending Australian Open champion. Either way, he has set up one of the most intriguing storylines for the year, highlighting the tension between predictions, performance, and the unpredictability of top-level tennis. Fans will be watching closely to see whether Mashie looks like a genius or just misjudged Gauff's resilience and talent.